welcome to my afternoon session. My name is Michelle O'Neill and I run a little business called Cherry Tree Equine. We run a range of clinics, and I travel and do clinics and not, but we also do clinics at our home, and we do clinics on the trail. And we have a range of online services, including virtual lessons. So if you're interested in coming and talk to us, please come and see me after this demonstration. This afternoon, I'm going to be talking about confidence and how you keep it. And as you can see, I've probably got the best candidate in the barn to bring here today, because this little mare, her name is Connie. She's a 8-year-old quarter horse, and she's, you know, a little wound up about things today. And you know, you guys have all been places and had horses that you've done stuff with where, you know, they've been a little on the toe or they're a little stressed out. And you have to be the person that takes control of that situation, okay? If I sit up here for the next 30 minutes while I do this demonstration and do absolutely nothing, this little mare is going to be pinging off these metal fences by the time we finish. So, you know, it's my job to reassure this mare that everything is okay and that, you know, she has nothing to be worried about. She has nothing to be stressed about, and that, you know, I'm going to look after her. I'm going to make sure that everything's okay in her life, okay? She, you know, she's been standing around the yards all day. She's never seen things like a tractor pull before, and so, you know, I need to build her confidence and build with her and work with her and make sure that she knows that, you know, I'm here to help her, okay? And this is what a lot of confidence issues become about. I see a lot of horses at my clinics where people have really done very little to build their horse's confidence. And it's not anybody's fault, okay? It's just what people don't know. And that's fine, you know? I didn't wake up one day and suddenly have a whole heap of knowledge, you know? I've been learning about horses and horsemanship for more years than I care to talk about, because that'll just give away my age, and then you'll all know how old I really am. So, you know, this is the thing. I want you guys with your horses to be able to get on, and someone said to me today, they were talking about a horse, and they said they're at a stage in their life where what they want to be able to do is just pull a horse out of the paddock and get on it and go for a ride. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There is nothing wrong with that at all, okay? So, you know, what we have to do is work on making sure that we have confidence in ourselves that gives these horses confidence. So often when we're nervous, horses get nervous, and then we have bad habits created. So, you know, this little mare, you might notice I haven't let her stand still while I've been talking to you. I'm making sure that she's moving, okay, because, you know, horses are prey animals, okay? They have spent 70,000 years evolving, running away from lions and tigers, and man, remember that, you know, we are a predator. We have eyes in front of our head, like we've been evolving over a very long time to hunt and eat meat. Now, this horse probably weighs 500 kilos. She's probably 300 kilos of meat in her. Okay, so, you know, you can't really blame it. You know, we get on them, we strap a dead animal on their back. You know, I'm sitting up here with a sheepskin pad and a leather saddle. You know, there's a whole heap of things strapped to this animal that she has every reason in the world to be scared of. So, if I get on and I get a little scared and I get a little tense, she is naturally going to feel that, and we're going to have a cascading issue whereby, because I'm nervous and I feel scared, she feels that, runs through my seat, runs through my legs, runs through my hands. She feels that, and then she becomes tense, and then we have this problem where she's scared, I'm scared, and suddenly things escalate out of control. Now, you might say to me, yeah, that's great, Michelle. You know, you're talking about being scared, but how do I overcome that? How do I get from being that person who is scared to put their foot in the syrup and get on the horse? How do I then go from being that person to being the person that can get on and know what to do with a horse like this that's a little bit go-y and wants to move around? Well, the first step of your program is going to be groundwork, and I've done a groundwork demonstration already today. You know, groundwork is where you start to build your horse's confidence in you and in its environment whilst you are safely with 2 feet on the ground. So once you've gone through all that and your groundwork's pretty cool, then you can start to think about the next step, and that's getting on their back. Now you guys might notice that I have been working a lot of circles with this mare. Okay, I've got some cones out here in a bit of a pattern. You know, a cone is a really good thing because what it gives you is it gives you a point of reference. Now if you come to any of my clinics, and the first thing I usually work on is what I call perfect circles. Okay, now it's an exercise I use with all my performance horses, but it's an exercise that I really like as a confidence builder. Because in the perfect circle, what I want to do, let's say this blue cone is my centre marker, I need to stay the same distance from that cone the whole way around. Now to do that, I need to be thinking about what my horse is doing every single stride. So if she wants to step in that way or step out that way, I need to be aware of it. So like right now, she's kind of wanting to step out up towards you guys. So, you know, if I just sit here, and I'm not talking about worrying about her being driven into a frame or looking, you know, like a beautiful show hack. All I'm asking her to do, and it's exactly what I did this morning in my groundwork demonstration, I am asking her to be bent from her pole to her tail around my inside leg. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. But what I wanted to do while she does that is I want to describe a perfect track. Oh, because I want to go over and over and over this circle on the exact same track, time and time again. Now, what happens when you get nervous, when you're worried about something going wrong, is you tend to start thinking about everything that might happen. Okay, so, you know, anyone who's sort of watching this mare, if you're a bit worried about it, you might be thinking about her jumping forward or jumping off or taking off somewhere, okay? What happens when we start thinking about that stuff is because we start to think about it, we stop focusing on what our job is. Okay, and we stop focusing on what we need to do, and therefore our imagination runs away with us, and suddenly we have a horse that's running away with us. So I would dare any of you to come out and ride a horse and scribe a perfect circle and have time to think about anything else, because what you have to be doing is every single stride you need to be thinking about where that horse is going to go. Okay, now I'm looking just out in front on my circle, and I'm feeling through my seat for what my horse is going to do. Now, if you're thinking about that stuff, if you are completely focused and feeling for what's going on underneath you, you don't have time to be imagining that, you know, she might jump sideways, or, you know, I know if you watch when she comes around here, she's not real keen on that puddle down there. You know, things like that. Like, I don't have time to think about any of that stuff. All I have time to think about is where I'm going to go. Now, if you watch her, what she will start to do is she'll start to relax. Horses really, really learn. They learn by release of pressure, okay? So what this little mare is working out pretty quickly is if she ascribes this circle, I'm going to leave her alone, okay? Horses also learn by repetition, okay? So the more you do stuff, okay, and the more you be consistent about it, the better that lesson is going to stick with your horse. So if I'm consistently asking this horse to walk around here on a circle, and my inside leg is against the horse's side, my outside leg's back a little bit, and I'm asking her to bend around me, okay, if I keep asking her the same question, and when I get the correct answer, I keep offering her release and leaving her alone, pretty soon she's going to look for that easy answer. And because I am building repetition, horses like repetition, horses hate change, okay? So she's kind of getting the idea that all I'm going to do here is walk this circle, and you can see my track starting to emerge. Because she knows what's coming ahead, she knows what we're just going to walk this circle, she's starting to relax, okay? She has confidence that there's no nasty surprises ahead. One of the biggest problems people have with their horses and when they're a little bit scared is, you know, let's say this mare might jump forward and I suddenly grab on her head and pull like this and, you know, and my feet go out. Mare goes, what was that all about? Okay? So you need to practice some of this stuff in a controlled environment where you know that you have control of things. Now there's another really good advantage about this circle. I've just changed direction, I'm going around that pile of poo now. there's something else that's really good about doing these small circles. If I need to pull a horse into a one-rein stop, I'm kind of set up and ready to go. So if this mare's walking along around here like this, and I need to pull her into a one-rein stop, can you guys see how I only need to drop my outside rein? Okay, I haven't had to actually change my hand or rein positions in any way. So here's the thing, I am ready to take control of the situation. If I get on this mare, and I do this with all my young horses, okay, the first thing I do with all my young horses is get on, go out and ride them in a circle like this, and if they get a little wound up, I just pull them straight into a one-rein stop. The big thing, if you are a little scared, or if you've had a bit of a confidence issue, or if you're a bit concerned, you've got a new horse, you know, the big thing is to take the forward step. So be doing all of this stuff when you're feeling confident, whether that is because you've got a buddy who's come over to ride with you, or it's a really nice sunny day, you've got time, you know, start doing this stuff now so it becomes second nature to you. You know, if this mare took off bucking out across the pen here now and she'd never done a one-rein stop in her life, it's a little bit late to teach her, okay? Like, when she goes to full-on flight mode, it's a lot harder for me to go get back here and stop, okay? Because if she panics, let's say one of those tractors backfires up there and she clears out, as far as she's concerned at that moment, she's running for her life, okay? Like I said, remember, they are a prey animal, okay? They've been evolving over the centuries to survive. And her survival, all horses' survival instinct, when something goes wrong, is to get away from it as quick as they can. Okay? If she thinks any of you are going to jump that fence and eat her, I'm going to guarantee she's not going to walk over for a pat. Okay? As you can tell, she doesn't like this side. It's a bit close. There's a bit of stuff going on. She's kind of pretty keen to get out of here. So you might see I've got a bit of a pattern set up here with these blue cones. So there's 8 cones set out. This is what I call the gait exercise. It's one of my favourite exercises for my clinics. And if you're feeling a little nervous and you're a bit unsure of your horse and how your horse is going to go, it's going to be pretty embarrassing if she shies at my banner, isn't it? You know, if you're a bit uncertain about it, set something like this up. You only need 8 tyres. It doesn't have to be anything flash. Okay? And what the idea of this exercise is that you have to ride through the middle of the gates, okay? You want to be, it's a bit like the perfect circle. We're looking to go through the circles, through the gates, and we're looking to be the same distance from the cone the whole way through the turn. Now, remember before when I started and I was talking about the circle deal, and I was saying the last thing I want to do is like get them out of the circle? Well, this is the same thing. If I've got a horse that's a little bit go-y and I'm feeling a bit nervous, letting them go straight out across here like this is the worst thing I could do, because it's like riding out in a 1,000-acre paddock when you don't know if you've got any brakes. Okay, you're saying, please go. So if I'm a little nervous about what's going on, I'm never going to go in a straight line, and every gate I come to I'm going to turn. So I might go through this gate, I might go back through the gate I just went. Now this exercise is done really well at a trot once you get the hang of it, because it actually enables you to cover a little more ground quickly. But if you're, you know, just feeling a bit nervous, just getting started, doing it at the walk is fine. And you can actually make this exercise a bit smaller if you so desire. Okay, so you haven't got so far around. The more circles and bends and turns you can put into a horse, the better. Okay, because the more you more they circle and turn and bend and are soft, okay, the better they're going to go for you. I don't know if you guys can actually see, but as she comes around through a corner, she has a tendency to lower her head. So if she comes around here, and I ask her to go this way again, there's my give, okay? When a horse is in flight mode, their pole will be above their withers, okay? So when this part here is higher than this part here, that's when you know your horse is thinking about being somewhere else. Okay, so this little mare, every time she softens in the brain, it's evident to you by the fact she lowers her head. Now you guys can see I'm not pulling on the reins much in between, or all I'm doing is just asking her to steer, okay? So if I pick up on this rein and ask her to turn to the right, now remembering you should be thinking about being equidistant between the two cones as you go through there, okay? There's no good, if I ride across to this one, let's say I'm going to turn right back to you guys, and I let my horse wander in over here, and then I pick up the rein and pull on her head and snap her across, that did nothing to build her confidence in what I'm going to do with her, okay? So therefore, that doesn't build my confidence in what I am capable of doing. But, and it's exactly the same as the perfect circle. I will challenge you to be able to worry about what might happen. You know, the fact that there might be a lightning bolt strike in the middle of this arena, seeing there's been a few around this afternoon. You know, you don't have time to think about that stuff when you're doing this properly. You know, if you're concentrating on where you're going, and you guys can see, even while I'm talking, I'm always looking ahead and looking around the corner. I am planning where I want to go. And that's what I want you guys to be able to do. I want you to be able to be so focused on where you're going and what's ahead of you and what you have to do that you literally don't have time to think about anything else. Now you guys might see this little mare's pretty forward, okay? She's always wanting to go somewhere. Do you see what I did there when she walked off while I'd stopped and I was talking to you? I just picked up and put her head back around, okay? One of the biggest mistakes I see in relation to horses that want to walk off when people don't want them to is they will let the horse, let's say the horse walks off, and then they sit here and they go, whoa, and pull on their head like that, okay? Again, that doesn't help your confidence, because if you're a scared rider, or if you're a bit nervous about what your horse can do, and your horse walks off and you yank on its head and it throws its head up in the air, well, that's going to scare you even more. Okay? Whereas if your horse goes to walk off and you instinctively reach down and bend the head like this, one, that's a lot less scary to you as a rider. Okay, you kind of know where you're going to go, and two, it's a lot less abrasive to your horse. You know, this is hard work. Okay, she will get sick of this pretty quick. Okay, but you know, I don't want to create a battle with my horse, okay? The last thing I want to do is set myself up in an argument that I can't win. I have a friend who has a saying, and it is, you never take a knife to a gunfight, okay? And it's the same with your horse. You know, that's why I was saying before about doing the groundwork before you start to address these issues. You need to make sure that your horse can flex and bend on the ground before you get on their back. When you get on their back, the first thing that you should do as a training exercise is flex your horse's head. So again, you know that they flex on the ground. Now you know that they flex when you get on their back. Then the next thing you're going to do is, as you're developing this stuff with your horse, is you're just going to be riding along and everything's going to be fine, and make it smooth, because we're not scaring the horse. We want this to be smooth and pleasant. We're going to reach down and go like this. Okay, she did nothing wrong. I'm just using this as a training exercise. When she's soft and not pulling on the reins, I'll let her go. I actually didn't ask her to walk off then. So what I would do is just pull her back around. The other thing is, can you guys see I'm pulling her both directions? Okay. A lot of people get very one-handed and they only ever want to pull their horse one way. And that works really well until, say, for example, let's say we're out in the trail ride somewhere and we're going on past a passage of water like this, and my horse goes to take fright. If she goes to jump that way now, okay, if I pull on this rein, okay, I've pulled her away from what scared her. But if I go to pull her on this rein now, can you guys see the different reaction in her? See how straight away she's more stressed about it, because she's already concerned about this puddle of water. Okay, it's been dry for a while. And now I've asked her to flex. I asked her to flex the exact same direction as what I did before, but because I pulled her into the thing that is scaring her, I've actually made the situation worse, okay? I have actually scared her, and therefore, of course, remembering that you feed off them and they feed off you, okay? So, you know, if you can do this often enough that it becomes second nature to you, that you would know if you're riding along past something scary. Say she's shied at this banner right now. If I pull her this way and pull her into that banner, for the briefest moment she can see that banner with two eyes. Okay, while she does that, that is going to scare her even more. So, but if I go this way, yeah. If I go this way and she gets scared and I pull her away, okay, it's a lot quicker. Notice she stops a lot faster when I pull her away from what's scaring her. You know, that's one of those little tiny techniques that will keep you safe when things start to go wrong. Okay, they will. It's one of those things that, you know, why make the battle worse? Now, in my arena at home, I have tyres set out in a straight line like this, only they're a little bit further apart, permanently. And the reason why I have them set out permanently is this is one of my favourite confidence building exercises, okay? So if I'm riding around my arena and one of my horses starts to get a little jumpy,
and it's really
you know,
funny, Esther, you know, some things
they might think
she does clinics like
that the green grass is starting to grow and they're starting to get a bit excited about it. I'll pick up and go to these cones and I will do serpentines, I will do circles, and it's exactly the same as before. I am making sure that I'm completely focused on what I have to do. Now you guys can see she's a little abrasive through these turns, like she's wanting to throw her head up and get a little stressed about things. You know, it's okay. I'm just going to keep going through the pattern. Now the important thing to note is if you're feeling nervous, when you set, there you go, she's relaxed. When you set something like this up, where you're just going up and down and bending and turning, your horses very quickly realise that there's only another turn in front of them. Okay, this little mare, she knows that all that is here is another circle in front of her or another turn in front of her. So very quickly she will start to go, you know what, there's no point me getting stressed about this. Can you see her head coming down? Okay, she's starting to stop. Yes, she gets a bit bracy when she changes direction. And if I was feeling a bit nervous and she did that, that might concern me a bit. So you know what, I just might do a couple more circles through here. Okay, so it's all about making sure that I have something to focus on. Okay, if you are concerned about what's going on with your horse, if you are concerned that something bad is going to happen, make sure you help yourself by taking control of your thoughts. Okay, it's a bit like riding down the trail, and my trail riding demo got washed out today. But you know, the biggest mistake people make when they go trail riding is they get on their horse, they sit out here, and they yap to their friends, and la 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 la, you know. And pretty soon, like, there's a brain down here, okay? As you can tell by the fact she thinks she's going back to the other horses, okay? There's a brain down here, okay? So pretty soon, like, I'm riding along, and I'm yapping to my mates, and I'm looking around, I'm thinking about going shopping, and what's this horse starting to do? She's starting to take over, okay? She's already worked out that I'm not doing anything. Okay, so what starts to happen is I'm sitting here in a big old daydreaming and, you know, thinking maybe it's raining at home. And this horse has gone, hang on a minute, that thing sitting on my back isn't paying attention anymore. Maybe I have to take over. And that's what they start to do. And that's when you get those horses on the trail that are riding along like this. Next thing, they just take off sideways, you know, or they might jump forwards, you know, like, and then you end up looking like that, okay? That's all started, sorry, sweetie. That's all started simply because you've gone to sleep while you're riding them. Now look at this mare, okay? I just spent, I don't know, whatever, 20 minutes doing exercise in front of you guys to calm her down so that she was nice and calm and I felt nice and calm and I could trust her, okay? So then it takes me one yank in the mouth and one kick in the guts, and suddenly the poor little thing thinks that the world is out to eat her, and we're back to square one again, okay? So, you know, this is your responsibility. Yes, go trail riding with your friends. Yes, go and have a fantastic time with your horse, but don't sit there like a big old sack of potatoes and then wonder why the critter trots off, okay? Give them something to do, okay? Like, pick them up, turn them. If I'm riding down a track, let's say I'm riding, they're very wide, but let's say there's two blue cones of wheel tracks. Like, I might be riding down, I might put my leg on and ask my horse to step across. And then I'll drop the reins and let her relax again and do nothing for a bit. And then I might come to a tree and I might do a circle around a tree. Ooh, scary. Now, here's the thing, right? She took fright of something up there, don't know what. But because I had her pulled around in the circle, what did she do? She just went, yeah, okay. But if I'd been sitting there, can you see what happens? And I'm sitting back in my pockets. Like, you guys can see, I'm not leaning forward. I can tell you if I sat forward, she'd go. Okay? So, you know, this is the thing. We have to think about what we're doing. Okay? We can't just sit there and be a big old passenger, and then when our horse starts to react to stuff, wonder why it happened, and then get scared. Okay? So, you know, if you have a horse and you're battling with a few, you know, confidence issues, go back to some basics. Go back to your groundwork. Get them broke on the ground. Make sure that, you know, make sure that they are soft and responsive and do everything that you want under the ground. Make sure they're not doing things like standing over the top of you. I can guarantee you, if you come to one of my clinics and we're doing the groundwork section and your horse is pushing you out of the way, I can already tell you what's going to happen when you get on their back later in the day. I can already tell you that horse is going to be ignorant and non-responsive, okay? And if you're already a little scared, then you've got a big problem, okay? And then when you do get on their back, make sure you give them something to do, okay? Make sure you're focused on what you need to work on. You know, pick a perfect circle. Like I said, perfect circle. One, it puts you in a position where you have to be thinking about what they're doing in every stride. Can you guys tell this mare's done a lot of these circles in life? She was stuck with her head up in the air, and as soon as I let her go forward, you watch her start to come down and relax, okay? Because she knows that if she goes to jump forward from this point, I'm just gonna do that. I was set up and ready for a one-range stop, okay? So guys, thank you for coming. If you have any questions, I'll be here at the stand. We've got 3 demos tomorrow if it doesn't rain. So yeah. So done?
10 minutes till the next.
10 minutes till the next one comes. So come and see us and then go and spend all your money. And yeah, we'll see you later on. Thanks. Oh, sweetheart.